Chosen one, welcome. I am grateful you are here today, and I want you to take a deep breath and prepare your heart. If you are new here, subscribe to Underrated Knowledge channel and turn on notifications because today's message will touch parts of your life you didn't even know were being shaped by unseen forces. By the end of this video, you will understand how something you said about a third party, yes, even something that seemed casual or small, can carry profound spiritual significance. Before we begin, I want you to comment "I receive" in the comments. Say it now. Feel the energy of that phrase. Declare that your heart is open, your mind is alert, and you are ready to receive this divine revelation. Your words, even in conversation, are not mere words. They are spiritual signals that carry energy, intention, and the unseen guidance of God. Proverbs 18:21 reminds us, "The tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit." Every word you speak is fertile ground. It can plant blessings or confusion, clarity or chaos, depending on the intent behind it and the spiritual alignment it carries. Chosen one, think carefully about the last time you spoke about someone else, a friend, a coworker, a family member, or even a person who is seemingly distant from your life. Did you speak from love, fear, judgment, or curiosity? The spiritual world pays attention to these moments. Matthew 12:36-37 says, "But I tell you that everyone will have to give account on the day of judgment for every empty word they have spoken. For by your words you will be acquitted, and by your words you will be condemned." Even casual statements carry a vibration, and the spiritual realm reacts to the energy you project. You see, chosen one, what you said about this third party is not invisible to God, to angels, or even to spiritual forces around you. Isaiah 55:11 tells us, "So is my word that goes out from my mouth. It will not return to me empty, but will accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it." Your words, spoken with intent, return to you with spiritual consequence. Even when your mind perceives conversation as ordinary, the universe records the intention and energy behind it. Let's explore why this matters in relationships, destiny, and divine alignment. Proverbs 16:3 teaches, "Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans." When you speak about another person, you are essentially creating a spiritual signal, either in harmony with God's plan or in tension with it. Your intentions, conscious or unconscious, act like a beacon that attracts alignment or misalignment, clarity or confusion. Chosen one, have you ever noticed how after a single conversation, events seem to unfold in ways that surprise you? Maybe someone responds differently, situations shift unexpectedly, or doors open or close. This is rarely coincidence. Proverbs 18:12 says, "Before a downfall the heart is haughty, but humility comes before honor." The humility or pride behind your words determines the spiritual resonance of your statement. Speaking without awareness can unintentionally trigger outcomes that align with unseen spiritual forces. This is why I urge you to always examine the energy behind your speech. Colossians 4:6 reminds us, "Let your conversation be always full of grace, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer everyone." Grace, alignment, awareness. When you speak from grace, your words become signals of divine guidance, both for yourself and for the third party you mention. They are no longer neutral. They are markers in the spiritual world, carrying intention that shapes outcomes beyond your immediate understanding. Chosen one, consider the moment you last discussed someone's behavior, choices, or destiny. Did you speak with judgment or with understanding? Romans 12:21 says, "Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good." Even subtle envy, criticism, or gossip creates a ripple effect that is noticed by the spiritual realm. Conversely, speaking truth, encouragement, or prayerful insight creates signals of blessing, protection, and divine alignment. Let's examine the unseen dynamics at play. Often what you think is private, your words shared with a friend, coworker, or relative, does not exist in isolation. Angels, spiritual guides, and divine timing notice, and God can use these words as instruments to guide, warn, or elevate. Isaiah 43:19 says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." Your words may be the stream that guides a new path, or they may unintentionally create obstacles if spoken without alignment. Chosen one, now think about how this applies to your spiritual growth. Proverbs 4:7 teaches, "The beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom. Though it cost all you have, get understanding. Speaking about others is a spiritual exercise. When approached with awareness, every word you say is a step toward understanding God's plan, mastering your spiritual communication, and creating alignment with your destiny. When approached carelessly, it may delay your growth or create spiritual friction. It is also critical to recognize the power of intention. James 3:5-6 says, "Likewise, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes great boasts. Consider what a great forest is set on fire by a small spark. The tongue also is a fire, a world of evil among the parts of the body." One small statement about a third party can ignite outcomes far beyond your perception. But remember, this is not fear, it is awareness. Awareness empowers you to redirect your words to align with God's purpose, creating blessings instead of friction. Chosen one, the next principle is prayer over your speech. Philippians 4:6-7 teaches, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." Before speaking about anyone, cultivate prayerful intention. Ask God to guide your words, infuse them with blessing, and shield both you and the person you mention from confusion, judgment, or misalignment. It is equally important to listen before speaking. Proverbs 19:20 says, "Listen to advice and accept discipline, and at the end you will be counted among the wise." Often, we speak without full understanding. The spiritual realm records every utterance, but wisdom comes when words are considered prayerful and aligned with God's purpose. Silence in the right moment may be more powerful than words. Chosen one, let's explore the consequences and blessings of speaking with spiritual awareness. Matthew 6:33 teaches, "But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." When your speech aligns with God's kingdom, even casual mentions of others become opportunities for blessings, clarity, and divine guidance. You begin to notice patterns, see connections, and understand the spiritual signals that guide your path. Now, I want you to pause for a moment and reflect. Think about your recent interactions. Who did you speak about? What was the energy behind your words? Were they spoken in love, fear, envy, or curiosity? Recognize that God is listening, angels are watching, and your words are shaping spiritual currents that can influence outcomes for you and the third party you discussed. Chosen one, this is your moment to type in the comments "I receive" once again, to affirm that you are consciously opening your heart and mind to the understanding of your words as spiritual signals. Like this video to strengthen your awareness, and subscribe to Underrated Knowledge channel for more insights into the unseen forces guiding your life, relationships, and purpose. Chosen one, as we continue, it is crucial to understand that every word you speak about another person carries spiritual weight. It is more than social interaction. It is a reflection of your inner alignment and a signal to the spiritual realm. Proverbs 15:4 says, "The soothing tongue is a tree of life, but a perverse tongue crushes the spirit." Notice how the Bible emphasizes not just the act of speaking, but the quality and intention behind speech. Even seemingly harmless statements can resonate spiritually, impacting not only the person spoken about, but also your own path, your environment, and the divine unfolding around you. Chosen one, the first step in harnessing this understanding is recognition. Recognize that your words are instruments of influence. Matthew 7:12 reminds us, "So in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you, for this sums up the law and the prophets." When you speak about others with compassion, fairness, and love, you align with God's principles. Your words become channels through which blessings, clarity, and positive spiritual energy flow. Conversely, careless or negative speech can inadvertently create spiritual friction, confusion, or delayed alignment. Next, we focus on intention. Romans 12:2 teaches, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will." Before speaking about a third party, pause and assess your intention. Are you speaking to vent, gossip, or manipulate? Or are you speaking to uplift, clarify, or share insight? Intention determines the spiritual outcome of your words. A sentence spoken with love, prayer, and alignment can become a signal of divine guidance. Chosen one, consider the unseen consequences of your speech. Proverbs 26:20 says, "Without wood a fire goes out. Without a gossip a quarrel dies down." Your words can ignite situations, trigger reactions, or set in motion chains of events that are part of God's larger plan for your life and for the lives of others. That comment you made about a third party is like a spark in the spiritual forest. It can illuminate, warm, and guide, or it can start confusion and tension. Awareness empowers you to shape that spark into a force of light rather than discord. Another principle is reflection and discernment. James 1:19 advises, "Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak and slow to become angry." Observe the situation before you speak. Reflect on the spiritual resonance of your words and act with discernment. When you cultivate this spiritual awareness, your communication becomes more than just conversation. It becomes an instrument of alignment, revelation, and divine orchestration. Chosen one, prayer is a powerful tool to ensure your speech carries blessings rather than unintended consequences. Philippians 4:6-7 reminds us, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." Before you speak, lift the situation and the people involved to God. Ask for guidance, protection, and clarity. Your words, infused with prayer, act as spiritual signals that attract blessings rather than discord. Now let's address repairing misaligned words. Even if you have spoken without full awareness, it is never too late to realign your speech. Proverbs 12:18 teaches, "The words of the reckless pierce like swords, but the tongue of the wise brings healing." If you recognize that something you said may have carried unintended negativity, speak with correction, blessing, or prayerful intention. Healing words can reverse spiritual friction and restore alignment. This process is not about fear. It is about empowerment and awareness. Chosen one, the next level is intentional speech as a spiritual practice. Colossians 4:6 says, "Let your conversation be always full of grace, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer everyone." Speaking with grace, wisdom, and intentionality transforms casual remarks into spiritual signals of alignment. Your words become markers in the spiritual landscape, guiding your life, the lives of those around you, and even unseen forces to act in harmony with God's plan. It is equally important to observe the response of the spiritual realm. Proverbs 20:27 reminds us, "The human spirit is the lamp of the Lord that sheds light on one's inmost being." When you speak aligned words, notice subtle shifts in your environment, emotions, and circumstances. Sometimes doors open, clarity emerges, or unexpected guidance appears. These are confirmations that your words have become spiritual instruments, resonating with divine order. Chosen one, humility and patience remain central. Philippians 2:3-4 teaches, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of the others." Even when you recognize the power of your words, remain humble. The spiritual realm amplifies the effect of aligned speech, but it also notices ego-driven statements. Speak with sincerity, love, and alignment, and you will witness the unfolding of God's design in your life and in the lives of others. Let's explore the role of gratitude in spiritual communication. 1 Thessalonians 5:16-18 says, "Rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus." Gratitude for the opportunity to speak wisely, for the lessons learned through interactions, and for the spiritual guidance present in every conversation magnifies the power of your words. Gratitude transforms casual comments into blessings, infusing every interaction with divine resonance. Chosen one, consider the spiritual alignment of your relationships. Proverbs 27:17 teaches, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." Conversations about others are opportunities for mutual spiritual growth. Your words, when intentional and prayerful, can sharpen understanding, illuminate paths, and foster alignment with God's will. Even jealousy, misunderstanding, or curiosity, when approached with awareness, becomes a tool for insight and growth. Now, let's address how to practically use this understanding daily. Start by examining your intentions before speaking. Pause and ask, is this statement aligned with God's will? Does it uplift, clarify, or bless? Am I creating harmony or friction? Record your observations and responses. Over time, this practice will refine your speech, making every conversation a spiritual instrument. Proverbs 21:23 reminds us, Those who guard their mouths and their tongues keep themselves from calamity. Chosen one, type in the comments, blessed and ready to affirm your commitment to speaking intentionally and aligning your words with divine purpose. Like this video if it has opened your awareness of how your speech carries spiritual signals, and subscribe to Underrated Knowledge channel for more divine guidance on understanding unseen forces, relationships, and spiritual alignment. Chosen one. Now we dive even deeper into the practical spiritual applications of your speech because understanding is only as powerful as action. Every word you speak about another person, especially a third party, is like a ripple in the vast spiritual ocean. Even casual statements, idle observations, or private conversations carry energy that moves unseen currents. Proverbs 18:10 tells us, "The name of the Lord is a fortified tower. The righteous run to it and are safe." Your speech, when aligned with God, becomes a form of spiritual fortification, not only for yourself but for the situations and people you speak about. Let's begin with awareness of hidden consequences. James 3:1-2 says, "Not many of you should become teachers, my fellow believers, because you know that we who teach will be judged more strictly." We all stumble in many ways. Anyone who is never at fault in what they say is perfect, able to keep their whole body in check. Even if you are not a teacher, every statement about another person has weight. Your words can influence the emotional and spiritual atmosphere around you. If spoken in judgment or impatience, they can create tension and misalignment. If spoken in love and wisdom, they can heal, uplift, and open spiritual doors. Chosen one. Intentional speaking is your first tool. Proverbs 16:24 teaches, "Gracious words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones." Before speaking about a third party, pause and ask yourself, are my words reflecting love, grace, and understanding? Do they align with God's will, or are they reactive, prideful, or fearful? By answering honestly, you convert ordinary conversation into a spiritual instrument capable of producing profound outcomes. Now, let's talk about repairing misaligned words. It is natural to occasionally speak without full awareness. Ecclesiastes 5:2 reminds us, "Do not be quick with your mouth. Do not be hasty in your heart to utter anything before God. God is in heaven and you are on earth, so let your words be few." If you have spoken something that might have carried negative energy or misalignment, you can repair it through prayer, blessing, and intentional affirmation. Speak over the person you mentioned, asking God to shield, guide, and bless them. Words that were once unaligned can be transformed into signals of divine restoration. Chosen one. Prayer is essential to reinforce alignment. Philippians 4:13 says, "I can do all this through Him who gives me strength." Pray for guidance, clarity, and the ability to speak with divine wisdom. Pray for the third party, that God's purpose in their life is fulfilled and that your words contribute to rather than hinder that purpose. This act of intentional prayer transforms ordinary communication into spiritual action, making each conversation a conduit for alignment and blessings. Another profound principle is the power of observation and discernment. Proverbs 20:12 says, "Ears that hear and eyes that see, the Lord has made them both." Watch and listen carefully in interactions before commenting on others. Often, what seems ordinary may contain spiritual signals meant to teach, guide, or protect you. By discerning the spiritual patterns behind actions, words, and reactions, you ensure that your speech amplifies understanding rather than creating confusion. Chosen one. Let's explore how to transform curiosity or gossip into divine insight. Colossians 4:6 teaches, "Let your conversation be always full of grace, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer everyone." Even if your initial words came from curiosity or casual observation, you can redirect them through grace. Speak with insight, empathy, and prayerful intention. Your words become a spiritual signal that not only reveals understanding but also guides situations and people according to God's plan. It is equally important to recognize the reflections of your own spirit in your speech. Proverbs 27:19 says, "As water reflects the face, so one's life reflects the heart." What you say about others mirrors your inner state. Anger, envy, fear, or judgment in speech often indicates unresolved spiritual areas in your own life. Conversely, speaking with love, patience, and discernment signals alignment, clarity, and spiritual maturity. Your words are not just signals to others, they are signals to yourself and the spiritual realm about your inner alignment. Chosen one. Humility amplifies the power of your words. Philippians 2:3-4 reminds us, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests but each of you to the interests of the others." Humility ensures that your words act as instruments of blessing rather than ego. Even if your speech sparks recognition, acknowledgement, or influence, humility maintains alignment with God's will. Your words then resonate with spiritual clarity, not personal pride. Now let's examine gratitude and affirmation as tools to enhance your spiritual speech. 1 Thessalonians 5:16-18 teaches, "Rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus." By expressing gratitude for the opportunity to speak with wisdom, for the lessons revealed through observation, and for the spiritual connections at play, you magnify the effect of your words. Gratitude transforms even casual statements into powerful instruments of spiritual alignment. Chosen one. Consider practical steps for daily alignment. Pause before speaking, breathe, evaluate your intent, pray. Speak with grace, observe outcomes, and adjust as needed. Each step transforms ordinary conversation into spiritual practice. Proverbs 21:23 reminds us, "Those who guard their mouths and their tongues keep themselves from calamity." Guarding your speech is not restriction, it is liberation. It frees you from unintended consequences and empowers you to send precise spiritual signals. Another key insight is the ripple effect of aligned speech. Proverbs 12:18 teaches, "The words of the reckless pierce like swords, but the tongue of the wise brings healing." Your words can set off a chain reaction, impacting relationships, environments, and spiritual currents. One sentence spoken with awareness and prayer can bring clarity, peace, and understanding. Conversely, one careless remark can trigger tension, misalignment, and delayed purpose. Recognizing this ripple effect empowers you to consciously craft each word. Chosen one, spiritual alignment in speech creates resonance. Isaiah 43:19 says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." When your words align with God's intention, they become part of His new work in your life and in the lives of those you mention. Even casual conversations become streams of guidance, insight, and blessing. You are participating in divine orchestration through your speech. Finally, chosen one, type in the comments, "Blessed and ready to affirm that your speech will now carry awareness, intention, and alignment." Like this video to deepen your spiritual insight, and subscribe to Underrated Knowledge Channel for more revelations about unseen forces, divine communication, and spiritual mastery over your words, actions, and life. Chosen one, as we bring this teaching to its full understanding, remember this: your words are spiritual signals, not just social tools. Everything you say about another person, friends, family, co-workers, or even strangers, carries energy that shapes both your life and theirs. Proverbs 18:21 reminds us, "The tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit." Your words can unlock blessings, reveal hidden paths, and attract divine alignment, or they can create obstacles, confusion, and misalignment. The choice is in your awareness and intention. Every moment you speak, consider the spiritual atmosphere you are creating. Romans 12:2 teaches, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will." Transformation begins in your thoughts, and it manifests through your words. Speak with humility, grace, and love, and your speech becomes a channel for God's guidance. Even if you have spoken carelessly in the past, there is always the power of repair through prayer and intentionality. James 3:5-6 reminds us, "Likewise, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes great boasts. Consider what a great forest is set on fire by a small spark. The tongue also is a fire, a world of evil among the parts of the body." That spark can be redirected. Speak blessings, offer encouragement, and align your intentions with God. By doing so, your words become tools of healing rather than disruption. Chosen one, observe and reflect on your speech daily. Philippians 4:6-7 teaches, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Prayer before speaking aligns your mind, heart, and tongue with God's purpose. Even seemingly casual conversations are elevated into acts of spiritual significance when infused with prayer. Your words are mirrors of your inner state. Proverbs 27:19 says, "As water reflects the face, so one's life reflects the heart." If you speak from love, patience, and clarity, you are signaling alignment to the spiritual realm. If you speak from judgment, fear, or envy, you create friction in both visible and unseen layers of your life. Awareness empowers you to choose your words wisely. Gratitude magnifies the effect of aligned speech. 1 Thessalonians 5:16-18 teaches, "Rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus." By expressing gratitude for the lessons, guidance, and relationships revealed through conversation, your words themselves become signals of blessing, attracting divine intervention and harmony. Remember, chosen one, every word you speak is a tool for spiritual growth. Colossians 4:6 reminds us, "Let your conversation be always full of grace, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer everyone." Grace and seasoning transform casual statements into spiritual signals of alignment, blessing, and divine timing. Finally, always maintain humility and patience. Philippians 2:3-4 teaches, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of the others." Humility ensures your words act as beacons of light, rather than ego-driven sparks. When your speech is rooted in divine awareness, your life reflects spiritual clarity, guidance, and blessing. Chosen one,
I encourage you now to comment below, blessed and ready, as a declaration that your words will now carry spiritual power, intentionality, and divine alignment.
like this video to strengthen your awareness, and subscribe to Underrated Knowledge channel for more guidance on spiritual mastery, understanding unseen forces, and cultivating a life aligned with God's purpose. Remember this always: what you say about others is never just words, it is a signal to the spiritual realm. Speak wisely, speak with grace, speak in alignment with God's will. Your words have the power to shape reality, bless lives, and open doors you never thought possible. As Proverbs 16:3 teaches, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans. Commit your speech to Him, and watch your life and the lives of those around you transform. You are chosen. You are heard. And every word you speak carries divine significance. Walk in this awareness and your life will never be the same.